Welcome to my World History Notes, where I'm discussing the Cold War bit by bit, day by day. Very interesting things for me, anyway. I'm just sharing them with you. I'm hoping that this will encourage you to do some digging on your own. And this stuff is very surface. I'm getting it off internet sources that are easy to find, not really doing a lot of digging. So there's a lot more information to learn because this is what's right out there in front of us. So just want to share this with you, and let's begin with somebody. I'm picking individual celebrities and personalities that that I think have some value. I want to talk about first, and then do a little timeline. So let's talk about Michael Greenberg. Now, Michael Greenberg was a scholar of Chinese economics and history. He supposedly provided a Soviet spy with information during the 1940s, but he never got charged with espionage. Now, he came to the United States from England in 1939 and attended graduate school at Harvard University and under a fellowship from Trinity College in Cambridge. He was in October. He was at Harvard from October 39 to January 41. He became editor of the Institute of Pacific Relations, publication Pacific Affairs, we've already discussed in August of 1941. Um, and then Edward Clark Carter, who was the general secretary of the Pacific Council of IPR, wrote Lachlan Curry, asked if letters of Owen, if to Owen Lattimore in China could be transmitted so they're not read by others before reaching him. Curry promptly replied on the White House letterhead, quote, "I will be glad to get the letters you mentioned to Lattimore uncensored." Curry's assistant in the White House was Greenberg. So he became in 1942 a Chinese specialist at the Board of Economic Warfare and assistant to the agency's head, Lachlan Curry. He later worked as a foreign affairs economist in the administrative division, enemy branch of the Foreign Economic Administration. Um, Elizabeth Bentley stated that for a brief period, Greenberg supplied information concerning principally China. The information was passed to another agent, Mary Price. So, Civil Service Commission security officials wanted Greenberg dismissed upon learning of his involvement with the Communist Party. So, you had several other people say that he must have been a communist. He appealed. The Civil Service Commission ruling was overruled. He became a U.S. citizen in 44 and was transferred to the State Department in 45. He resigned in 46. He left the United States permanently in 47 after the FBI got a hold of him and was never called before a congressional committee. His file is highly redacted, highly colored out. A wiretap in 45 revealed Greenberg's coworkers discussing the charges against him. And so, he was there's a lot of information that really strongly is evidence that he was definitely a Soviet spy. But he went back to England and he went back to Cambridge, completed his work on his PhD thesis, published a book called British Trade and the Opening of China. Um, it's he was successful, so he went to work at his. He was blocked from academic promotion, but he went to work to a number of jobs in journalism, public relation, advertising, and film criticism in England, Switzerland, and France. He lost his U.S. citizenship and was denied a passport by the British Home Office. His passport was never restored to him. So, there was some actions taken against him. But he was recruited in 58 as an economic advisor to the Central Bank of Ceylon, and which is Sri Lanka today. So, just very interesting person, had led a successful life, had a very few, he did have some blowback from his work as a communist Soviet spy, but he did get by it through it. So go back to the timeline now. On July 25th, 1945, the Potsdam Conference adjourned temporarily due to the British election results. The next day, the Potsdam Declaration was issued, outlining the Allies' terms for the surrender of Japan. Fortunately for the future of Japan and impacting the Cold War, the declaration was meant to be ambiguous and never mentioned the emperor, only threatening those in leadership who had supposedly misled the Japanese people. It basically gave the Allies a blank check and gave them a lot of wiggle room to decide what to do. On the same day, the 26th, the results of the 1945 United Kingdom general elections were announced, with the socialist government, I mentioned this before, elected as Clement Attlee's Labour Party, won an unexpected landslide over Winston Churchill's Conservatives, and Attlee took office as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I mentioned before how this impacted the Cold War negatively, as it gave left-wing collectivism a strong base in England's actual governance. So we'll stop there, and we'll pick it up next time with some other interesting characters and events that I hope are interesting to you. They're interesting to me because they kind of lay blocks in a wall that you're just building. So hope you'll study this Cold War history, and a lot of good internet videos, a lot of polished scholarly stuff, a lot of good speakers, a lot of pictures and stuff. So there's lots of places you can check these things out. All right, thank you very much.